Do you trust the 49ers general manager, John Lynch? I do, but do you? Because I trust him. I think John Lynch has proven himself over the years. See, last year's draft in 2017 was fantastic. And then John Lynch made it happen. John Lynch got them a franchise quarterback for a meager second-round pick. That's unbelievable. He got Jimmy Garoppolo. He had a great draft. He found Adrian Colbert in the 7th round. Is it Colbert or Colbert? I don't know. The point is, I trust John Lynch. John Lynch is awesome. And so the first pick, the 9th overall pick that the 49ers made in this year's NFL draft was the tackle Mike McGlinchey from Notre Dame. And this surprised me. I even made a video once about why the 49ers should not draft offensive line. I'll be honest, I was just trying to be interesting. But it did surprise me because I thought the 49ers should get a guy that made an impact right away. And it sounds like McGlinchey's that guy to them. It sounds like the 49ers really, really liked Mike McGlinchey. And here's the problem is, as quarterbacks began to fall in the NFL draft, guys like Roquan Smith were gone, Denzel Ward was gone, and I think that it's possible that maybe the 49ers decided Tremaine Edmonds was just too much of a project. They didn't want to develop a guy who had a lot of coaching issues, yada, yada. So the 49ers did the safe thing. They drafted a tackle from Notre Dame, Mike McGlinchey. And it is really hard to criticize a team for drafting offensive linemen. It just is. Because there are some things in life you can never have too many of. You can never have too many quality offensive linemen around. That is what the 49ers did. The 49ers went out and got a guy to protect their $137 million quarterback, Jimmy Garoppolo. So you can make an argument the 49ers might have reached a little bit. Maybe Mike McGlinchey was not a top 10 player in this year's NFL draft, but who cares? As long as they got a guy who's going to make an impact, it seems like Mike McGlinchey is. It works for me. I'm okay with Mike McGlinchey. I like the pick. I thought it was a good one. For the love of God, protect Jimmy Garoppolo. That is what the 49ers need. The second pick was really interesting. The second pick for the 49ers, with the 44th overall pick, the 49ers chose receiver Dante Pettis from the University of Washington. My former coach, not my head coach, one of my receivers coaches, he's a 49ers fan. He talked about, he was confused why the 49ers made this move. He said, why would we trade up to get Dante Pettis, a guy we could have got later in the draft? I don't know. I really don't. I know that here's what John Lynch said about Dante Pettis. John Lynch was excited because Dante Pettis could play the X, the slot, and the Z receiver for the 49ers. He's really versatile. He can go anywhere they want him to. It's really possible Kyle Shanahan loves him. I would bet Kyle Shanahan's a guy that looks at Dante Pettis and he goes, we can do a lot with him. Because what Kyle Shanahan does is maximizes his players. He maximized Trent Brown. Sorry, Trent Brown. What's that guy's name? I can't remember his name right now. Whatever that guy's, the little slot receiver is. I'm blanking names right now. I'm tired. I've been up 24 hours. Kyle Shanahan maximizes his players. He gets everything out of his guys that he can. That is what Kyle Shanahan is going to do with Dante Pettis. And don't forget, Dante Pettis is a fantastic return man. He's a leading scorer when it comes to punt return touchdowns. He has 9 in his NCAA career. That's incredible. Dante Pettis is a great return man. He's a somewhat explosive wide receiver. He might need some developing, I don't know. But I'm sure Kyle Shanahan saw Dante Pettis and said, let's go get him. I want him. The third guy that the 49ers drafted was a guy named Fred Warner, the linebacker from BYU. So what I'm told is that scouts love this pick. What I'll tell you is this. I don't know a ton about Fred Warner, but I do know that I saw BYU and Portland State play each other because my buddy plays for Portland State. And I know that a guy named Fred Warner, the very same Fred Warner, was flying around making tackle after tackle after tackle. I think he had like 10 tackles. I believe he was like the leading. He was just everywhere. Fred Warner is a beast. And I do believe it's a smart pick because if Reuben Foster is not ready or something happens, you can insert Fred Warner into the lineup, and I think he can play as a rookie. Not amazingly, but he will be able to play as a rookie. That's awesome. I like the Fred Warner pick. I think it's a really smart one, and I'm excited for Fred Warner in a 49ers uniform. Now, the fourth pick that the 49ers made is another really exciting one. Tavarius Moore, a third-round selection, just a really raw athlete. Here's what I like. He is 6'2" with 33-inch arms. He's a big, tall, long defensive back. Now, my only question about Tavarius Moore, Tavarius, I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. Look, he's a great player. I'm excited for him. I don't know whether he'll play safety or corner. I would assume corner. I know that Moore played in safety in college, and I just don't really know what he's going to come out as. Because some people list Moore as a corner. Some people list him as a safety. He has really good ball skills. He can cover people. Seems like he could play whatever he wanted. I'm excited because he's a big body, and he really fits the 49ers scheme. With the fifth pick the 49ers made is where picks start to get kind of weird. Kind of interesting. It's just where you got to start beginning to trust John Lynch. With the fifth pick in the fourth round, the 49ers drafted Kentavius Street. Kentavius Street or Street, I don't remember. I wrote it down. It's by hand. I don't remember his actual name. It's Street or Street. He's a defensive end from NC State. And he is going to be out the entire year. He has a torn ACL. So your fourth round pick can't play this year at all. And that's kind of weird to me. Why would do that? And he's not the only guy. There's a number of guys that have injuries that the 49ers drafted that kind of make me shake my head, kind of make me a little bit wondering. Maybe Kentavius Street, the defensive end from NC State, just has a really good upside. I don't know. We'll find out. Now, the sixth overall player that the 49ers selected was DJ Reed in the fifth round, the defensive back from Kent State. This is a good pick. He's a return guy. He can play the nickel corner, which means when the offense brings a third wide receiver out, you can put DJ Reed onto the field so he can guard just a wide receiver. It's a really, really good pick. He can play nickel. DJ Reed can contribute on special teams. DJ Reed is a really, really good, fantastic pick. Marcel Harris is interesting. Marcel Harris is a safety out of Florida. He's the seventh pick that the 49ers made out of the sixth round. This is why it was genius to sign Richard Sherman. The 49ers keep selecting more and more young defensive backs. Every pick they made was like, oh, another guy, another young defensive back, another young defensive back. Not to mention that Marcel Harris is recovering from an Achilles injury. This very same thing that Richard Sherman is recovering from. So for a sixth-round pick, it's worth the risk, and I do because I think that if Marcel Harris was not injured at the end, like he was last year, I think Marcel Harris could have been an even higher draft pick from Florida, and I think we might have got a steal, honestly. I shouldn't say we. It's possible the 49ers got a steal by drafting Marcel Harris. The eighth pick is interesting. It's Julian Taylor, a defensive back from Temple. Another guy who's been hurt. 2015, he was hurt. 2016, he was hurt. He had a torn meniscus and then a torn ACL in the same knee back-to-back. I'm not sure which one was which year, but that's not good. A knee injury both years, 2015 and 2016. He played okay in 2017. And my only question is, does this defensive tackle, does he have a lot of upside? I don't know. He's not a guarantee. I don't really know what John Lynch sees in him. Maybe John Lynch said, maybe he drafted injured players thinking they're going to be healthy and were undervalued because they were injured. Is that possible? Maybe. I hope so. Because the ninth person that the 49ers selected, in the seventh round, the 49ers selected Richie Jones, the wide receiver from Middle Tennessee. He runs a 4.4. He, again, is a guy with injury issues. And I'm really curious because 4 of the last 5 guys that John Lynch drafted had injury concerns. And it just makes me wonder, was it a situation where John Lynch felt like they were undervalued because of their injury? And they felt like they were getting better players than normal because of the injuries. And that's hit or miss. Maybe they'll work out, maybe they won't. But it is interesting, 3 of the guys coming in are hurt. And there's another guy that the 49ers drafted who simply will not play at all. And that's why I asked the question, do you trust John Lynch? You do or you don't? I do. I don't understand what he's doing. I don't know why he drafted a bunch of injured guys. But look, hey, it's John Lynch. He killed the draft last year. He got Jimmy Garoppolo. He's earned the right for me to trust him, for us to give him his faith. So I trust John Lynch. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what they're scheming. I would love to know. Maybe that was their strategy, was get injured players that are maybe undervalued because of their injuries, and so you can get more value for less. I think that's maybe what John Lynch did. I really don't know. Regardless, I'm so excited to see these guys in action. I cannot wait. I know a lot of people didn't like Dante Pettis. I did. I wanted the 49ers to get some kind of wide receiver. I watched a lot of Dante Pettis. He's from my home state. That guy is explosive. He's fun. I like him. They got a tackle. They got Jimmy Garoppolo some help. And they got a good linebacker to work with Reuben Foster. It's a really, really good situation. A bunch of injured guys. We'll see how they pan out. Oh, and the other guy, Tavarius Moore. He is awesome. That guy who's a safety just really, really excites me. I'm really curious to see what happens. He's a huge, long corner, and I just am really, really curious to see what happens with him. Yes, it was Tavarius Moore, the fourth guy they drafted in the third round, a 6'2" corner who there's no rush. They got Richard Sherman. They got Ahkello Witherspoon. They even got DJ Reed, and they can develop Tavarius Moore into whatever they want. They can mold him like clay and shape him. That, I think, could be a really great steal in the draft. That was a really, really good pick, and I really, really liked it.